You can't wrestle a bear or drive with one uncaged. You can't run with milk professionally, and no cat hunting on Sundays. I don't know what is up with these crazy rules and laws in Missouri, but there goes my weekend plans. Moving to southern Missouri is the best thing I've ever done for my family. So on this channel, I talk a lot about how unrestrictive southern Missouri is, but today we are going to look at the flip of that and how Missouri has an abnormal amount of very strange laws, many pertaining to bears. And we're gonna get into it, just in case, you thought you were gonna come here and start, a bear wrestling club. You got another thing coming. Now, I don't want to salt down the bear scene here in Missouri, but my daughter and I have particularly noticed that the bears that we have seen in Missouri are like teddy bears. I'm not kidding you. They're small, way smaller than any bears I've seen anywhere on the West Coast. They're super small and they're scared. Like, they're not coming to attack you. They don't rip your car apart. Like, I've got so many bear stories, aggressive bear stories, and the bears here are like kittens. So I think that is why people just started wrestling them. Probably making some good money on the side, but at some point that did become illegal. So you cannot wrestle with a bear in Missouri, which is really important to know before you move here. And like I mentioned, you cannot drive with one uncaged, which I was driving back from Aurora today. We just listed a house out there, and I saw a guy that was driving so crazy, I called 911, which I very rarely do. I mean, this was insane. He was weaving in and out of traffic over 2 sets of double lines, cars having to swerve. It was just too much, and I just had to call 911. But I'm thinking he had an uncaged bear in his truck. See, I thought he was on drugs, but I'm thinking it's the uncaged bear. So yeah, no running with milk if you're a milkman. So that's why I said professionally. I mean, you can, amateur milk running may still be legal, but definitely not if you're on the clock. And I think that law was just to pick on like one klutzy milkman in some town in Missouri, and he just kept breaking bottles of milk, and someone just was making fun of him. Poor guy. And absolutely no cat hunting on Sundays. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna guess that was to get people to go to church, but I think we should just have a whole week of no cat hunting. I mean, are we talking like people's cats? If they're talking like bobcat, mountain lion and whatnot, like that just seems too restrictive. But house cats, let's not hunt house cats. I know people do though, and I do understand having to control populations of animals that breed like crazy. In a similar vein to not being able to hunt cats on Sunday, we also have a law in Missouri that you cannot sell cars on Sunday. Also designed to promote church. I don't know. I mean, at one point, cat hunting and selling cars was taking up a lot of people's time on Sunday. Surprising. Who knew? There's also a string of unusual laws that come from St. Louis. And St. Louis is kind of the underbelly, I would say, of Missouri. So some of them aren't too surprising. For example, to try to eliminate prostitution, 4 single women are not allowed to live together, which that's not a bad idea. It's just you get more than 3 women, 3 single women together, and they tend to destroy the fabric of society. So, not totally a bad idea there. And there are laws pertaining to single men as well, not having male brothels necessarily, although that probably would be a good idea. But single men are required to pay a bachelor tax. I believe it's only $1, which, isn't too bad. But they are taxed, I believe, as an incentive to get married. It's obviously not enforced, but I don't think it's a crazy idea to tax single men. Tax single women too. I actually have questioned if we should even let single people vote. This one is important though. This one is very important. In St. Louis, still to this day, you cannot eat ice cream out of a backpack. Because in St. Louis, at one point, there was a scourge of ice cream being eaten out of backpacks. And the backpacks were getting all messy. It was a huge problem. Yeah, the city was falling apart. So you can imagine, St. Louis, it's just getting crazy. There's ice cream everywhere. It's dripping out of people's backpacks. And then also, the honking at night was so bad, they had to make a law that you could not honk your horn outside of diners so that people who were eating their dinner late at night did not get disturbed. I think that's just a great thing anywhere. I personally think people honk their horn way too much in the city. I think that there should be probably a tax for every time you honk your horn in the city. This next law is incredibly concerning, especially if you do not wear pajamas at night, which is that in St. Louis, the firemen are not supposed to save any woman from a fire if she's not dressed, even if she's wearing a nightgown. Some of us don't wear nightgowns, and we'd really burn. So on your next trip to St. Louis, sleep fully dressed. Also in St. Louis, it is illegal to walk an elephant down the road without a permit. I think that one's reasonable. Although I have to say, if you watched my Christian County video, I talk about how in Christian County there's no animal regulations, even in R1, even in residential, and I talk about how you could literally have an elephant in your backyard and no one would say anything. Obviously, it's not the same in St. Louis. And for a local weird law around here, it's actually not that weird. In Marshfield, it is illegal to cuss. And although I do cuss, I do not think it's a good idea. I'm trying to quit. It's like this psychological break in my mind where I just so trained as a young person that cussing was okay. Yeah, I'm really, it is really hard. If you were raised with cussers, and it runs deep. So, I'm gonna mind my P's and Q's, even if I stub my toe next time I'm in Marshfield. Okay, last one. There's tons more, by the way. There's books of weird laws in Missouri. Last one, and then I want to say a little story about it. In Jefferson City, our capital, you cannot kiss if you are a man with a mustache. Can't kiss a woman if you have a mustache in Jefferson City. Now this is interesting. I wonder, is it because mustaches are scratchy? Or is it that mustache men are a little bit looser, perhaps not to be trusted, and a little too va-va-voom? Which is interesting because that is what the Amish think as well. There's a great documentary, can't remember the name of it, but I super enjoyed watching it, about the Amish. They have it's like a goatee, you know what I mean? It's like hair here, but not the mustache. And they were talking about it. They think that a mustache is this sexual symbol, it's like a man trying to strut his stuff, and I just thought that was so funny. I think honestly that there's some of you men out there that have a mustache and you just like it, or are you trying to get the ladies? Either way, in Jefferson City, you better watch out, mustache men. Now, for those of you that are like history buffs and you know like some of the, historical reasons behind these laws, I would love for you to share it in the comments. It's too weird. At some point, governments should purge these laws from the books, but they are fun, although, they're out there. And like, I literally don't know what I'm going to do this weekend now that I can't wrestle a bear. And then how am I supposed to, I was obviously going to drive the bear with me uncaged, obviously. And yeah, so I feel a little disappointed. I still love Missouri though. Don't get me wrong. Still love Missouri. And for the most part, I can do whatever I really want here. There's still a lot of freedom. Clearly, I'm going to be wrestling mountain lions this weekend because that's still totally legit. I promise you guys, if you come check out Southern Missouri, you're going to find that it is quite pleasing when it comes to government regulations because there are probably so many less than you're used to. It's quite a treat, actually, for those of us that know, fascism and stuff like that. Give it a go and cage your bear. As always, you guys, my information is in the description. I'm really enjoying all the text, emails, calls, your comments here. I love the communication, and I've been so excited to help you guys with the next best phase of your life, which is moving to Southern Missouri. And yeah, until next time, bye.